You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Welcome to another episode of Queen3 and King. I am your host, King Dog. Today's episode is After Sex. Sex, aftermath. I just like saying sex sometimes.
Hey!
I like the way it feels on my sex.
Boy, go!
After sex, aftermath. We have a couple of very special guest hosts. Gary Freeman of the Freelosophy, the freelancer himself. And then we have Mr. Brian Jones. We'll get to their introductions here in just a moment. But first, let me go ahead and go on to my co-host, my regular co-host. You see him. They head all over the place because we had, it was Labor Day and they Labor Day. We don't have the seasoned queen. She is actually been approved for a day off. She put in for a floating holiday, so I let her ass float. So she'll be back next week. And then now, so we're going to go ahead and go to Horny, Texas, by way of East Garland, Texas. Still basking in the glow of her victory over the city of Tulsa in the state of Oklahoma. We have the educator queen, those rough edges. Meba, TT, talk to the people, queen.
You jerk.
Brian looking like, what the fuck did I sign on for? This ain't life happens. He ain't used to this shit. Boy. He's like, hey, what the hell is going on?
I'm good.
Good evening. Like Varnell Hill said. Alicia, what did Varnell Hill say? Did you miss? Me. Hey, y'all.
All right. And next, we have the baby queen, formerly known as Blake's mama. Now she is Bronx mama, and there may be some more news on the way, according to a dream one of Annie's had. So
quit lying. Liar.
We got the baby queen, Mama Lee. Talk to the people, queen.
Hey, everyone.
You want to talk about your Erykah Badu you got going on over there?
My.
I feel so high.
My money's gone.
What you up?
I'm all alone. 1, 2, 3.
Hey.
No one keeps standing.
Yeah, come on, Brian.
Let me pass it, 'cause, I listen to Erykah Badu. I like to fire one up.
I love her.
All right. And before we get to Mr. Jones, of course, we got Lena Traylor, the blackjack extraordinaire. You need to fill out a 1099.
Yeah, she broke all of us.
She didn't break the house. Anyway, all right. And next, our first special guest, we have Mr. Brian Jones. Mr. Brian Jones, I encountered him as a frequent guest on the Life Happens podcast with Mrs. Grace and Kimberly. And Brian, just a quick bio, is a business owner, energy consultant, a varsity basketball coach, racial equality and social justice activist, psychology and philosophy studies, and he is a Muskelian, which also is known as musician. That's how y'all make it.
That man said
Muskelian.
Brian, you gotta come on with this bio.
Yeah. So
I
talk to the people, Brian.
I just pick one or two of them. I know what to write, so I just write what I do. But appreciate y'all having me on.
You write what you do or what you want to be, man. I don't know what you.
Brian, do you sing?
Yeah, but I'm not going to.
Oh,
Say that again.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be busting no nose. But you know, I heard y'all. I heard your falsetto. I heard Alicia when she said, I heard the real.
Hey, so where you coach at?
Well, I was 5 years at a All Saints Episcopal School in Tyler. Right now, I'm looking for another school to coach at. Other than that, I'm all good.
So Tyler, Texas, is that your hometown?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, so tell us about this place that makes chili out of these East Texas hot links. I've been there before. Are you familiar with this place?
I mean, it's a couple
Pittsburgh
of them.
hot links. They make chili out of it. It's a little small shack, man. Most folks wouldn't want to go in there.
Nah, Pittsburgh hot links. I mean, you go Pittsburgh hot links. You go to another place called Ray's Hot Links. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a couple of spots where you go and get good food, man. So
I was surprised. I'd never heard they take the meat from the Pittsburgh hot links and they make chili out of it.
Yep.
And obviously, if you've tasted Pittsburgh hot links before, you know that's going to change that flavor, that chili. Mm-hmm. And when I say, it's going to give you some heartburn, but it's mighty tasty.
Yeah, along the way, I'll show you a couple of spots. You're gonna do like this the whole time. You're gonna be like,
yeah, all right. Yeah,
I'll bring my
anyway, okay, and then the musician. What instrument are we talking about?
Well, all of them except string. I come from a very musically gifted family. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
So you know, I've been playing instruments ever since I was 5. So
I like it.
So, but I'm mostly, I started with drums, but mostly I'm organ and keyboard.
Come on, keyboard.
Okay, well, shit, I should have brought my acoustic guitar out today for the
show.
Can
I tell Brian my quick story? I really wanted to play the keyboard and piano growing up. I started, Alicia, that's not funny. That's not funny. I started taking lessons because I was playing by ear. My parents wanted to get me into it. Yeah. And the lady had a dog that she kept letting get on me when I was playing the piano. So she gave up her life dreams because of dog.
Because of a dog.
I'm gonna tell. Can I tell another version of this story that may be closer to the truth?
Let's go to the truth then.
You done seen? Y'all remember this talk show with Sally Jesse Raphael on that, don't you?
Yeah.
You remember the red glasses she used to wear? Well, when Mika was 5.
Boy, I almost cut you. It was 7.
And she couldn't see the keys.
She couldn't see
lying. Now you lying.
But I mean, but hold on. I'm gonna have to back you up on this one. See, if you're a musician and you know what you're doing, you can play with your eyes closed. You ain't got to see the keys.
She was just learning, Brian. Damn,
no,
man.
I love the piano. I was playing all the time, but that dog.
It's like that's what they ask athletes all the time. They say, "Do you like winning more than you hate losing?" And she didn't like the piano more than she hated dogs. Yeah, that's
hey, and then
it was a Dalmatian. It was like right here to me.
But you know what? We just gonna thank God for the glow up, okay? That's what we gonna do.
Yeah, because let me go on and post this picture right quick.
Wow, you go back in.
But that Dalmatian was in there right here saying, "Miss a key if your ass wants you."
And she kept on saying, "Keep playing. He won't bite you."
Did he bite you though?
I don't know. Quit. Oh.
Well, that's the definition of a tiger mom right there. Put the dog on it.
And next, you all familiar with him, you Queen3 King loyalists, our loyal viewers have already seen him several times on this show, a couple other BS3 Network shows, and hopefully he'll have his own show on BS3 Network next year. We have Gary Freeman, future author of the Freelosophy. Talk to the people, G.
Hey, good evening. Good evening. I'm glad to be back. Love hanging out with you guys, and looking forward to a very interesting topic tonight.
Yeah, it ought to be a robust conversation. Gary said that when he come on Queen3 King, he got to get rebaptized again that following Sunday.
Do it. Do it.
All right. We got the Blue Streak Freak in the building. Look at that profile picture. Theodora Harper. She was nominated for Supporter of the Year at BS3 Network. So we appreciate her.
That's my girl, Theodora.
And then to follow the actual winner of Supporter of the Year for BS3 Network 2022 awards and co-host of Perspective, produced by yours truly, Keisha Walker. Good evening. You can catch her on Thursday evening at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And then we have Grace on the line of Life Happens and the Grace Experience on Saturday morning. She goes,
I knew she was finna talk. You said Grace, and I knew she was finna talk trash.
Yeah, she says, hey, y'all don't listen to B. Jones. He recommended a trash place when Teresa and I were in Ben Wheeler.
She just mad because we can only see her mouth in that profile picture because her forehead.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Wow. And she said, hilarious, Mika.
That's a movie, that picture.
Wow. Keisha said, hey, I got Gary Bear, I guess is what she's trying to say. And the Blue Streak Freak says, yes. And I know she's going to have a lot of input on this topic after sex, after math.
Let me hear you.
All right. So we're going to go on and get started on this. We're going to jump in. So I'm going to start with Mr. Freeman here. We're going to start with our guest. Then we're going to go to Brian, and then we'll go to the Queens. Mr. Freeman. Now, remember, you're under oath. Is it best to hold off having sex in a relationship? If so, why and for how long?
Man, I've been out the game for a long time. So I'm just going. So I got to revert back to some younger years. And I will say, as a parent and as an adult, I would say absolutely. It's best that you wait. As a single man, that patience runs pretty thin pretty quickly. So, but to answer the question, yes, it is. I really do believe that it is to your benefit to wait.
Why?
And that's just simply because you just need time to really get to know somebody. How many people are out there now that done slipped up and had babies by somebody they barely even knew?
Okay,
yeah, that's true.
And but you know, we all done got caught in it. We all done got caught in that lust, you know, somewhere down the road.
I got caught in it, all right.
Hey,
quiet. I'm coming out of it too.
Be ye quiet.
Quiet.
Yeah. So we all been caught in that situation before, and it could get serious real quick. So, and not to mention, you know, kids, you know, but also STDs and whatnot. You know, I don't think we really take that seriously enough.
Nope.
Yeah.
So taking those things into account, I absolutely believe that it's to our benefit to hold out.
All right on. B. Jones, is it best to hold off having sex in a relationship? If so, why and how long?
I mean, if we want to include the good book in this, of course it says to wait, right?
Oh, Jesus.
You know, fornication prior to, or anything prior to is fornication, right?
Well, I live in Florida.
live in Texas fornication.
Yeah, as opposed to Californication.
Yeah. So you knew where I was going. You knew
I did.
But I mean, look, it's people have to own what they do, right? And it's really about what you practice. Do you practice going after lustful situations on a regular basis? Well, then if you practice going after lustful situations, Brother Free, Gary Freeman. Gary Freeman. Brother Gary said things will happen. You know, if you're irresponsible, things will happen. And if you don't know how to control your emotions, and that's what most relationships, things when people start dating or when people start not even courting, because people don't know how to court anymore. But when two people are attracted to each other, the first thing that comes out is the lustful thing. I mean, it's what attracted me to you. But is it the thing that I'm going to build on? Most people build on lust and call it love later. You know what I'm saying? And if you add the intercourse part of it, then that heightens the situation more so for women than men, right? And then now you have a whole conglomerate of BS that's about to happen: feelings, emotions, lack of discernment, irresponsibility, lack of communication, no comprehension, and you got a whole bunch of problems if you're not practicing things prior to. Now, if you got two adults, and maturity doesn't have anything to do with age, that have been practicing more self-control, understanding how to comprehend the other person while they're communicating their thoughts and feelings, and being honorable. I mean, you can be honorable in a situation like this. You don't have to have sex with somebody and then start jumping around multiple people or dog them out or something like that. Like, if people are more honorable with this situation, can it work? Yeah, like you can have sex whenever the two individuals deem that they're okay with it. But if they're not ready for that, and most people, when I'm gonna say most, I'm literally gonna say like 9 out of 10 build on that. They go, hey, I like this person. They look good to me. Let me see what that thing do, or let me see what it's like. And then if it is or it isn't, then that's where everything starts floating after that. You know what I'm saying? People base their entire existence of a relationship literally off of that lustful situation.
Right on. All right. The educator queen, is it best to hold off having sex in a relationship? If so, why and how long? Ain't nobody told me how long yet, so we're going to see if somebody will tell me that.
I think it's best because women, okay, don't shoot me right now, but with sex comes emotion. And I know a lot of women say, I'm not going to get emotional. I'm not going to get emotional. Yes, you are. Yeah. Sex brings in emotion, and sometimes emotion clouds our judgment. So I want to stay away from sex as long as I can when trying to get to know somebody. Now, as long as I can, for some people it's 30 days, some people it's 60 days, some people it's 90 days, some people it's 4 months, some people 2 days.
This evening.
Some people it's this evening, and this evening not it, y'all. So
I need to know if the drawers is trash or not.
You finished?
Or are you done?
So, in my opinion, it depends on the person. It depends on the maturity level. It depends on what they're trying to do. Some people are not out here just to be in a relationship. They're out here to hit. So if you're out here to hit, it's a totally different thing. But if you're out here trying to make a relationship, I can't tell you. It depends on your emotion, your maturity, your level of emotional security, and where you're trying to go with that person. So, but yeah, I try to stay away from it until I feel like I know that person for who they are. And like I said, that can depend on communication. That can take a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. So.
All right, let me get a couple of these comments before we go to the baby queen. We got Justin Caraway in the building.
What up, Sam?
Hey, the house appreciates you. We appreciate you for putting money in on this trip. He says, "What's good, family?" You got Ben Sutter III in the building. With the BS and BS3 radio. He goes, "Good evening, family." Lena says, "Stop being nasty, Tig." Ain't. Keisha says, "Brian, please stop eating online." And she goes, "It's not best that you wait. We need to know that dude working, what that dude working with. There's no need in holding out to find out later." God, dog. That's what I get for not proofreading there.
Don't worry, we were gonna bring that up.
Let's see it. Ben says, "Lord, help me to hold out, unknown songwriter." Gray says, "Oh, you cannot get rid of the MF should you get pregnant if he turns out to be an MF." Yeah, hopefully you know whether he MF or not before you get to him. Keisha says, "BS3, that was a James Cleveland song, bro." All right, we got I Ain't Weed in the building. She goes, "Hi, family." Gray says, "Sex makes things cloudy. You will ignore red flags and think they are flowers."
Yeah, that's true.
She says, "Alicia, love your bad girl hairdo."
Thank you.
Weta says, "I will be past waiting 4 months, then find out that sex is horrible, time wasted." What's going on, Cutting Diane? She goes, "Hey." All right, we got daughter-in-law in the building. Brandon says, "Hey."
Hey, niece.
Let's see. Keith said, I don't think you should wait. Don't waste time. If your heart beats rapidly when he comes around, go ahead on and get it in.
Oh my.
And Weeda says, Grace, you owe the swear jar. She says pissed. I would be pissed waiting for 4 months.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So Lily, is it best to hold off having sex in a relationship? If so, why and how long? Don't forget Kay. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
That hesitation is telling the story.
Ain't it, Gary?
All right. Thank you. I think you should wait, but being realistic, we're probably not going to wait too long because we want to see what it's all about. But I think that what we should do before we get there, we both parties should know the expectations of what they want in that relationship, right? Whether it's just going to be a situation where this is all we doing. That's it. That's all. But I think we as women, like Mika said, we go into it emotionally. So when we go into it, emotions get hit in. We catch feelings. We ready to call him our man, and he may be thinking, nah, we just messed around. It ain't none of that. So I think that we have to discuss expectations because we go into it. Usually when women give the draws, they are expecting a call. Okay. You give the draws, I expect a call the next day.
Or a relationship.
It's best because I have found myself in a situation sitting outside in the car of a young lady's residence. And, things are, pretty hot and heavy. And she's like, come on upstairs. And I'm like debating it or whatnot. She goes, now understand something. If you come upstairs, we go together. I'm like, shit, I'll see you next week sometime.
Yeah, I'll stay in the car.
I ain't bullshit. I didn't get out. Because if that's your stipulation, I ain't signing shit.
You really told her that?
Yeah. And I mean, the guys are the truth. I'm not okay then.
Well, you let the expectations be known. I can respect
she
that.
said that. Hey, got no problem. I'm just gonna stay in my Camaro then, because I know what I get out of this.
Yikes!
All right, we're a little over a quarter of the way through, so we're gonna pause really quickly for station identification.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
All right, for this next little segment, we're going to start with the baby queen. Since we ended the last one with her, we're going to start with you. Do men act differently after sex?
Yes.
Check.
Yes, they do.
Hang on, Gary. Don't just hold on.
Yes,
hang on, BJ. Just hold on. Go ahead.
Yes, they do, but women do too. I think that when you bring sex into it, it's going to change the perspective of the relationship. Like one party may be thinking this is all that we doing. That female can be in her feelings, catching feelings like, oh, I'm in love. I'm feeling love. And girl, you just had some good sex.
So how do men act differently after sex? If they do, how?
Well, I can speak from experience.
What you studying this shit for? What, man?
Tag, leave her alone.
I can speak from experience. Sometimes I think we even had a conversation about it. Like it blurs the lines, soul ties
She's
coming
trying to be
it.
She's trying to say she got that yum like Summer Walker be saying. Is that what you're trying to say?
I ain't got to say it.
Yeah, I knew it. I knowed it.
I ain't got to say it.
I hate him.
I knowed it. Mika, do men act differently after sex?
Yeah. And
how the hell do you know?
Back in my younger days.
Go ahead and lie. Get that good lie together.
Wilma Jean watching
Get that good lie together.
Yeah. She know. She ain't
crazy. What happened? I mean,
I told her the other day she might have to leave.
Oh, wow. Okay, so men act differently after sex. How so?
I'm gonna just be real with you. Depending on if it's good or bad, they act different. Depending on what they want to do afterwards. Because sometimes I feel like men use sex as guidance.
Okay. Or as a gauge.
Huh?
Or as a gauge.
To see what they want to do. So yeah, I think men act different depending on how it goes, what we do afterwards. Was it engaging? Did I like it? How is she acting?
I'm about to say,
how
how is she reacting?
Right.
After?
All of that. So yeah, I think men act totally different. And the way they act depends on how she reacts, I should say.
Okay. Before we get to Mr. Jones, let's get a couple of comments in. So Akia says, that's about to be my next go around. If we end up in the bed, you're my man now.
Yep. Yeah.
And daughter-in-law said, I'll be honest, I turned into a stalker after that line was crossed.
Dang.
I mean, yeah, it's a Dawkins boy. That ain't no surprise to me.
Good night.
Let's see. Keisha said, hell yeah, men act different after sex, especially the ones when the sex was garbage. They be calling and asking, were you satisfied? If you gotta ask, nigga, I'm gonna say that. If you gotta ask, you know. And she goes, hell no, quick draw McGraw.
Right.
Angela in the building. She goes, I love this. This is good topics. Well, tell me what you think, Angela.
Tell
me what you think.
You gotta know.
No, you be stalking them boys afterwards. Keisha says sometimes they be wanting to cuddle. Man, get your ass over there and cuddle. Negro, please.
Are you a man, Keisha?
Because I can do a good cuddle.
Yeah, Diane says sometimes they try to hit it and quit it, but it end up getting sprung. And as far as cuddling is concerned, it depends on if you got that yacky 12 or that itchy 11. Hell, it depends on what kind of hair you got in your head, whether you're going to lay up on my shoulders and shit. Because if I get rashes and shit all up in here because you got the cheap weave, I'm going to be pissed off.
Now, if you lay it down with somebody that got the cheap weave,
that's a problem.
That's a problem.
Hey, you know what they say? After 2:00 in the club, shit, everybody shit looking better.
You need to stay at the club.
I get Diane. She goes, sometimes they try to hit it and quit it, but end up getting sprung.
Yeah.
And we just said, if you got that comeback kind of love like me, they would definitely keep coming back.
Come on, ain't we there?
Come on,
y'all ain't heard that song
please.
before. Keisha said it'd be too hot to cuddle.
Yikes.
All right, BJ, get on it. Do men act differently after sex?
According to the dude, we can go to a movie called Thin Line Between Love and Hate and see a person that just was like, shoot, I gotta get Brandy. I gotta get her. And old boy was like, you gotta tell her you love her. You know what to get. And that was his whole aim. His whole aim was to hit, call his homeboy, hey, I'm the man. That was it. Then you got other dudes like Mika made a good point. There are men out here who use sex as a gauge. If I know that you're reacting well to me, then I gauge that as, oh, I got control over you now. I can use this as a weapon. You know what I'm saying? I can use this to do whatever I want. And if you start acting crazy, I think Desi Banks got a skit where it's like, no more D. You ain't gonna get no more D.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
So it's some men, but there are some men out here who get a woman that they've been coming after, they've been chasing. You know what I'm saying? And then they finally get her, and let's just say it's awesome to him. Well, shoot, now like some people are saying, now he's sprung. You know what I'm saying? And he may be going overboard. So it's just according to the dude, his mindset, his objective. But most men, most men change for the other side. They change for, hey man, you know what I'm saying? I got this. Let me see what else.
There we go. That's the truth that's getting told.
Most men gauge women on, all right, I hit this. She was an 8.5 to me, so she's cool. I'll lock her in. And but she doesn't have the butt I want. So let me go find her. Let me go find her with the butt I want. Now I get the 9 instead of the 8.5. Let me knock the 9 down. Oh, well, I feel like the man. So now I got the 9, but she don't have the tight eyes I like. She got everything else, but she don't like the tight eye. Well, then let me go get the tight eye 9, change that to a 9.5, hit that. Well, boop, they keep men have a problem to that we try to keep upgrading and get the next
dummies
rather than you know what I'm saying? And
end up naked and afraid.
but the bad part about that is the 8.5s and the 9s stick around.
Hello.
I can go back anytime if I
That's so true though. That is so
if
true.
she ain't going nowhere, if she ain't going nowhere and she avoids all my red flags, then I can go keep chasing the next highest number up. And if I miss, then I can always come back. You know, hey girl, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's 11:30. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can always go back.
Tell the truth.
But that's most men.
Shit,
y'all act different though.
I guess
even after y'all don't get sex.
I didn't hear name one of y'all.
I say y'all act different after sex, and then y'all act different when y'all don't get sex. So it goes both ways.
You gonna act different.
Sometimes that's part of the game. You know, that's part of the you know, that guilt trip situation.
Yeah.
Now I'm a little
why
different.
it got to be a game?
Well, shit, because that's what it is. Yeah, we didn't. Hey, don't. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and you might not have ever heard this before, but this come out the book of Playerism. Don't hate the player. Shit, hate the motherfucker. I didn't make the game up, you know. Shit, I'm just a player in it. I'm just, you know,
You ain't got to play the game. You don't have to play the game.
Don't you?
No, you don't.
Don't you?
No, you don't.
Okay, so let me say this. You know, Brian said a whole bunch of truth there, and Bruce Creek Freak agreed with him and say, "You right."
You right.
And Angela even said Brian is dropping some truth over there. He's gonna need witness protection. See, hey. Let's see. Keisha said, then what if they drool in their sleep? Wake up, your arm be wet. Brandon says, yes, they end up getting sprung, don't know what to do that they sell. Cousin Diane said, Brandon love Dawkins, exactly. A-Trap in the building. What's up, man?
A-Trap?
And then Grace wants to take it here. One time when I was in band camp. Wow. Nasty joke. Keisha said, Mika, you do have to play the game or at least know the game. Thank you.
I know
Thank you.
I know it. I refuse to play.
And if you don't know, if you've never played it, you don't know when it's being played on you.
No, I know it. I refuse to play it because if you're a grown man and you know what you want, I'm not playing. No,
please let's act like grown-ups.
Okay,
we played the games when we were young.
Yeah,
look, like Mama say, it's time out for all that.
Hey, Gary, and I'm finna go to you. It's a whole bunch of folks out there think they know the game. They think they ain't playing the game. They think they just don't know they in it because they getting played. They popping, doing a whole bunch of popping out, but they getting played. Go ahead.
You can't play on the sideline. Ain't nobody playing with y'all.
The game is definitely being played. It's going to be played regardless of who the players are. The game is going to continue on. It's been in effect from the beginning of time. It's going to be in effect till the end of time. It is what it is. Is it fair? Nah, it ain't. But is it true? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. As far as do people change? I think it all depends on the expectation. Mm-hmm. So I think Alicia mentioned it earlier. You know, what was discussed before, what was decided beforehand,
right?
And if it was decided, okay, we're going to this next level. If we're going to this next level together, then this is what this means. Like the lady that approached with Dawkins, where you said, "No, I ain't going to that level. I'm gonna stay in my car. I'm gonna go home." If the expectation is that's fine. Some people can deal with that. Mm-hmm. But where the game comes in is when you lie and you say, "I want this." You know, we can do this, and everybody done it. We done all done it. We done all lied to get there. And that's when it seems like he changed. No, he didn't change. He just lied. His lie was the change. But the truth of the matter is, you know, he was never, in some cases, been women. They have never, the two people that are at odds were never had the same expectations from the jump. And so it seems like the agenda changed afterwards. When no, that was the agenda all the while. Now I've got a thing where I've never liked the idea of lying to get to that point. Yeah, of course, like I said, I done pushed that line, but I ain't never liked to do that because it does cause a lot of confusion. And I think that, acting without conscience, that's when you run into those particular situations. But yeah. And then like the brother Jones said, some people gonna be dogs. It's gonna be some people I don't need you for the rest of my life. I just need you for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
It's you're gonna be in that situation. It's like that.
All right now.
And like I said, they playing that game to the fullest. Jumping from one to the next, always trying to get to that next level. So there are those that are out there, but they also plant those red flags way in advance. You should be able to.
That's
see
right. That's right. Yeah. And that transitions me into my point is that, and that's why I said you got to recognize game. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so, you either need to prepare for the worst and expect the best, or prepare for the best and expect the worst. Either way, you better be ready. Okay. And so before you lay down, see, my answer to the question is, do you need to hold off to sex in a relationship? You need to hold off until you're sure.
Yeah.
Sure of what? Whatever you need to be sure of, right? See, I'm saying you need to hold off in sex in a relationship, not saying that even as a female, you can't just get in it to smash. Yeah. But no, that's what the hell you're doing. Yeah. See, it's okay to do that as long as you're not getting played doing that. Right? Same thing for the dude. You do what you want to do. Whatever's clever is on you, but just make sure you understand what is happening. Yeah. So that's my point, is that you got to recognize the game. And then at that point, if you do, then you can have those conversations and set those expectations before you go to the bedroom, right? If you want him to come off the top rope, tell the nigga you want him to come off the top rope. John Lewis, credit, But my point is that, hey, you got to understand what the situation is, right? And unfortunately, we done all heard this line: her picker is off.
Yeah.
Okay, so you gotta, at some point you gotta figure that out. If you keep getting played, if you keep finding yourself, generally the female that's saying all dudes is dogs. No,
that's right.
Thank you.
No, you just ain't. No, you just ain't saying. You gullible, or you naive, or you just plain dumb. I don't know which one it is, but it ain't. No. Let's see.
I hope I ain't out of line, but let's give 30 seconds. Women, for some reason, have this. Well, I've said this on another podcast. Black women especially, have an intense amount of discernment and intuition.
I heard you say this
more than any other creature on the planet. But for some reason, y'all turn both of them off when you see that no good dude coming at you, and you put lust, and you put status, and you put money over your discernment and your intuition, and you shouldn't be messing with this dude, but some reason you turn that sucker off on them no good dudes, but then you have it high on good dudes. You just for some reason it doesn't feel right. It feels too good to be true. Then when you get played, it's not. I have empathy for people, but I have no sympathy for a woman who saw a no good dude coming a mile away, and then all of a sudden, if all of the lustful intentions that you supposedly hide, but you thinking it's all gravy, when those lustful intentions manifest, and now you like everything about him lustfully, and then he started acting funny, that's not his fault. You saw it. You have the discernment. Yeah. You touched the hot plate. It burned you 3-4 degrees on burns, and then you blame the hot plate for being hot. No, you do discernment and intuition and own it.
As a matter of fact, I think that may have been on Life Happens, where we were on that episode together, Brian. I believe that's when you said it. And that is, when I say that is profound. He said black women have one of the highest IQs when it comes to discernment And
They brag on it. They brag on it. Nigga can't get nothing by me.
They got it. When it comes to knowing, when it comes to doing things like knowing when their kids is up to something, when it comes to something ain't right with her, something ain't right with him, something going on. Oh, they own it. I believe it was given to them divinely for them to be able to do what it is they do, right? But when it come to Jody,
baby boy.
Is it so? Is the switch? Do y'all cut the damn switch off, or do it malfunction? That's my only question.
I'm gonna tell Brian, add this one to your list. Biological clock. We can
that's true.
for that too.
There are women who do that. I know a woman who literally got into a hellified situation, an abusive situation, a stalking situation where she had to get the authorities involved because she felt that her biological clock was ticking. And she didn't want to start all over. So yes, that does happen too.
That's another one that you can put on your list.
And then some women are just afraid to be alone. Some people don't want to be alone. They want to be involved with somebody. So by any means necessary, they ignoring left and right what's happening just to say they have somebody.
Right. But y'all are so great at discernment and intuition. Your common sense should tell you that this isn't the thing to do. And then I'm not tripping if y'all want to do that and want to roll into those situations, but stop like Ivan said, stop calling every dude a no good dude. You see him coming. If you're a no good dude, avoid him.
That's very true.
Yeah,
I can't argue with that.
Yeah,
that's clear. Every dude ain't a no good dude. Y'all aim or have something about you that attracts no good dude.
Yeah.
So,
and guess what? A large percentage of the time, your girlfriends done hip you to it if your ass ain't hip to it for whatever reason. That done went down too.
You know how many times that we done sit around at night like, girl, I don't know about him. Something not right. Girl,
and see, maybe that might be the problem. You see how easy she did that? Girl, I don't know. That's too easy. Shit, you know something ain't right. Why are you trying to tiptoe through this shit? You know, tell her, girl, you better get your ass somewhere and sit down. You know that nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You deliver it with something that's gonna move something. You know, and me and my homeboy Craig had these conversations all the time. Those who you love, you owe the truth. So if that's your girl, you owe her the truth. And if she can't take it, that ain't your girl, no way. If she don't know how you roll, that ain't your girl, no way. You know, and see, another piece of this is that some females, because of the way society has been and because of some of the examples she has seen, she thinks that this is a reward system. She uses sex as a reward. Or, you know, so if you've done something nice for me, this is what I owe you.
Yeah.
If you've been kind to me, this is what I owe you. I see it all the time. You know, I'm somebody who from time to time, the Lord will use me to bless somebody. I'm in a grocery store or something like that. And I bless somebody, you know, say I got their groceries covered or whatever. Right. And I have literally had somebody say, wait on me. Hey, did you want to get my number? No, I wasn't trying to. I was literally just trying to bless you. I'm not, you know, oh, well, I thought you was just trying to holler at me. So that was your way. No, ma'am. I meant what I said. The Lord told me to bless you. So I blessed you. And that's the end of it. Thank him. See what he wants. Hell, I don't want nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
But do you know how many times I've heard girlfriends say, girl, when we're out to dinner and I had to do some. We have been out several times.
See, that's it. That's that reward. It's that sometimes it is that self-imposed pressure.
That's right.
That ain't even there.
I had to do some.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe it was. Maybe he was gently pressuring you based on that. You know, and if that was the case, how about before opening your legs, you open your mouth and have a conversation? Or how about this? This is also an option. We've been out several times and he done paid. How about you pick up the tab?
How about that?
Yeah, that's
or
an
plan
option.
the next date.
That's
Look,
not
because he said,
option.
we're not gonna keep going to these steakhouses.
And if you don't have the money, hey, make some sandwiches and shit. Cut them in little triangles like y'all do at the baby showers and shit like that. Make his ass some of that sherbet and ginger ale. Do some shit like that.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Grace says the expectation have to be set. We just said some women just want sex and no commitment. That's the truth.
And that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Angela asked a very good question. At what point does a man think he's done playing the game? Do y'all ever hit the whole wall? Yes.
Come on, wall.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do.
They hit the
How
whole wall
and
for the
when?
right
But it's
way.
different. It's different for everybody. It depends.
How and when?
Let's see. Grace says, thank you, Mika and Alicia. I don't know what for they did.
You're welcome.
We just said it's a lot of women that have codependency. That's a big word, and it's
Very.
on point.
Yes.
And Diane said it gets ignored.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about the flags, I'm sure. And then she goes, back in the day, I had a few no good dudes, but knew they were no good from jump. Not their fault, mine. So that's real.
Yeah, that's strong.
It needs to be some folks. It need to be some folks that share that information with some other folks.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying? You need to share that. That's the truth. It ain't on that dude. It's on you.
Nope. That's
And,
that
you know, see,
accountability.
a lot of people, I think deep down they know it's on them, but they lie to themselves. Until you quit lying to yourself, no real movement is going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say this: how many times have you been given that expectation and then you bucked that expectation? Just like she just said, she said, "I knew they were no good." They may have even told her, "Look, this is what I want to do. This is what I expect out of this, or I don't want nothing out of this." And then you still did it, and then afterwards you called him no good, or he was called no good, you know, in the community or whatever circle of friends that y'all were in. But that was because you bucked that particular expectation.
That's a fantastic
Or
point.
Gary,
I have literally had people females tell me what they don't do. And guess what? Before it was all said and done, they were the one trying to get me to do what it is they don't do. And I'm sitting there laughing like, I thought you didn't do that. Boy, shut up. You so crazy. No, nigga, you told me you didn't do it.
Or
Now
Gary,
you trying to do it.
I experienced in my late 20s, and Alicia and Tig know who this guy was. I knew he wasn't no good, but I said I can change him. I'm a good girl. He'll listen. He'll do that. And I was living on trying to change him. He's a good guy with great potential. I'll change him.
Yeah.
That was the last dude that I tried to change because ain't nobody changing nobody but the Lord. I said, I ain't changing nobody.
Yeah.
Waste of time. It's a waste of time trying
Total
to
waste of time.
And it's just a matter of, okay, can I live with this? And this is even in marriage. This is one of the things that we were taught in marriage counsel a long time ago was that if this person does not change ever, if they never change, can you stay with this person for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
And the vice versa. The other part of that is
that's a word.
You know, that's just one of those things that you've got to be able to live with. Is this person ever going to change? If they don't, am I still attracted to him? Am I attracted to him because I can deal with him for the next 2 weeks, 2 years, or can I deal with him like this in this condition for the next 30 years?
Yeah.
And most of the time, if you ask that question and it's a no good dude, the answer is going to be absolutely not. And I'm going to push off. I'm going to block that number. I ain't even going to fool with him no more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or her. We keep blaming bad relationships on men. I don't want to do that.
Sometimes they go both ways.
Oh,
They go both ways.
not going to do that.
Yeah.
Women have a propensity to try to change men more than the opposite because women are natural nurturers, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, women also want relevancy. They want to go, hey, look what I did. I changed him.
Yeah.
I led with lust. I led with he's got this, he's got that. I led with a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be a rocky foundation to start with. So I try to solidify that rocky foundation, that quicksand, with trying to change him into attributes that make me happy, not necessarily that make him into a better person, but I want to change him to did all this bad stuff into a couple of good things. And the problem with that, y'all spend so much time and y'all start getting cut, but y'all keep sharpening the knife. Y'all keep giving him the knife. Y'all just keep getting cut. And by the time y'all bleeding all over the place, and then you blame it on him. You're the one gave him the knife. And it's obvious because when people get mad, when you go and you talk to your homegirl, now all of your logic kicks in. The emotion starts floating over here, and you go, girl, he's this, he's that, and then I did this and that, and I know that was stupid. Your logic kicks in, and then when you get off the phone with your homegirl and get on the phone with him, then your emotions kick your logic right in the nuts. Well, y'all don't have it. Your emotions kick your logic, just, you know what I'm saying? They kick it out.
Right
they kick
in the nuts.
out.
Yeah, you said it right.
And then all of a sudden, you're back in the foray that you were because you of course, what you were practicing. You were practicing bad things. You were practicing trying to change somebody. You were practicing building off a bad foundation. And then after some crazy miraculous miracle, you hopefully get out. And then now you're just hurt after so much trauma, pain you put yourself through when all you had to do was listen to your discernment and intuition right out top.
First place. That's right.
Drop that science.
That's enough, B. Jones. That's enough.
Let me know when you go grocery shopping. Grace says you have to know if it's discernment or your trauma, and that's big too. Some people are led by that. So as soon as B. Jones said what he said, I thought that applied right here. Because once that trauma, that old situation, when you ignored whatever you ignored and you kicked your stuff in the nuts, right? Yep. Now it's off and it's trauma based. Some of the decisions that you make, and it's hard to tell the difference, right? Because you've blurred the lines. Let's see. That's why you take time before it goes there. Then you can make a smart choice. Keisha said, "I dealt with a real no good dude, but I only kept him around because his baby's mama didn't like me." With her ugly self.
Oh wow!
Relevant.
Angela makes a fantastic
whole other level, right?
Wait a minute.
Angela makes a fantastic point. She goes, "I love when a man is up front. Give me the option of a good time or walking away."
Yeah,
and that's real. Hey, look, I'm not trying to go there. Hey, that's right on. And Grace puts it another way. She goes, "Selling cat for steak." Nope.
Oh, right, steak.
But if you tell them some lobster or some crab legs or some shit like that, it's on and popping. Let's see. Diane said women have to learn how to take responsibility and be accountable for their part.
Absolutely.
100. Living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. What's going on, Golden Brooks? And Lakia says a word.
Hey, Kia.
She will be with us here in a couple of weeks on the rescheduling of our show, Life After Miscarriage. You don't want to miss that one. That's going to be a powerful show right there.
That'll be good.
Keisha says, at Grace experience. Yeah. And then Anwita says, men will let a woman know they are already seeing someone else up front. However, they will still fool around with them because they feel if their loving is better than the other woman, he's going to drop his woman.
Yeah.
You can drop the mic on that.
Yeah.
But that's real talk too.
Yeah.
Ben says most guys don't change that way. Yeah. All right. So I don't know if we addressed, and anybody can jump in on this if that's the case. So we had asked if men act differently after sex, but the question is, do women act differently first? What do I mean by that? Well, we all know that, again, as some of these discussions say, once I done gave it to you, you my man. Or now we didn't talk about what the expectations were before, so I just assumed that once we did, this is the case. So do men act differently after sex, or is it that women act differently first, and this is their response to that? Anybody can jump in on that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think it's a power shift. I think it's a power shift. I think when before it happens, the woman has the power. And after it happens, the power then lies with the man. Ooh. And that's the one thing that the women aren't expecting. Because for whatever reason, women will get the idea that I'm giving him this, like he ain't never had it before. Right. I'm giving it. This is the first one he gonna have, just the last one he gonna have. And so I got that control, but that's not necessarily the case. That's not necessarily the case. The situation is, he now feels that power shift, and now he's got the upper hand. Now it depends on what he does with that upper hand.
That's
but
right.
And that's that. The responsible person will deal with it accordingly, but. In some cases where people have gotten a bad rap is when they abuse that power once that power is actually shifted. But I think that's the one thing that people aren't expecting is that power shift after sex.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a great point. Anybody else want to jump in on that? Do men act different after sex, or is it the fact that women acted differently first? So he just responded to that.
I think that sometimes with women, and I'm just gonna talk from
Take your time.
I'm gonna say that women, our problem is sometimes when we've set the expectations with him or he's lied to us up to this point to get the draws. So he's told us, oh yeah, that's all I want. Like, you the only one for me. And so that's what we're going based off of. Okay. Like, this is getting real. And then it happens. And then I ain't his woman.
Mm-hmm.
So we start acting again off of emotions because we done built ourselves up thinking, oh, this is about to be my man. And it is not your man, sis.
Or we try to play it cool because I don't want him to be tripping. So we try to fall back like, I'm good, you good.
See? Wait a minute, y'all. Brian, Gary, I need y'all to pay close attention to what just happened here. Why we playing game? Well, we mean a game.
No,
is that not no game?
We try to play cool.
It ain't no game. We thinking this, so we fall back. You making moves.
Yeah,
you making moves.
That's
no,
exactly.
No, you're not making moves. You just don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Queen3 and King, because this crazy.
No, you are. Because Gary said, he said it right. Y'all have the power right off top. Women are way more calculated than men, especially up until that point. Because first of all, y'all know if y'all gonna give him something the first day y'all see him, right? It's not like y'all don't know.
I had a couple surprises.
Statistics show that within 5 minutes they know. Statistics.
Yeah, you know, unless he does something stupid.
Okay, hang on, Brian.
Let's
rephrase it.
I had a couple surprises.
If you would. Let's rephrase it. Maybe you don't know if you're going to, but you know if you would or would not.
Yeah.
You know if you would or would not. Yes.
Right.
Just based off of looking.
Yeah. But see, after that, y'all start calculating, like Alicia kind of said, y'all have built up these expectations. Just calculate on, will I do it here? Will I do it there? What happens here? What happens there? He'll be my man here. Or what if he act this way after I give him something? What if it's not good? What if it is good? Yada, yada. And then especially on Gary's point, nothing happens until women say, okay, let's do it. Because if I force it upon you, that's called rape.
Yeah.
Women have to open that door. Women have to allow sex to happen, right? And then, but all the way up until that, y'all are calculating it. And then it's what Mika just said. Once it happens, whether it goes your way or not, then that's when y'all literally adjust the situation. So y'all, women do.
I want him to think he got me sprung. I know make a move. Yeah. All right, a couple of comments here. Let's see. Okay, we got CJ in the building. He says, "Yeah, what's good, y'all? What I miss? A whole bunch."
He always come in asking what he missed.
Grace says, "Women ain't either." Yeah, we know. We know. Keisha said the only reason we act differently is when the man hypes us up to believe he's about to drop the sledgehammer. He turns out to be a 2-pump chump. That is not the only reason.
I was about to say that is not good.
You got the quick drama growl and the 2-dump chump. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey, this is the Blue Streak Freaker, so she knows. She said we have the power before and after. You just got to know how to work it.
Come on,
all right.
He ain't said nothing but a word, baby.
And then Keisha says it be the dudes that tell us you just been messing with the wrong ninja, and then they be the wronger ninja. Well, hey, see, it sounds like you're doing a lot of listening to a lot of talking, but not doing a lot of watching to a lot of acting.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The actions speak louder than words. Your actions are speaking so loud, I can't hear shit you're saying.
Exactly.
I like it.
And look at that. Oh, I thought she was being nice. She says, "Hush, CJ." I thought she said, "Hi, CJ."
That's not
nice. All right. Cousin Diane said, "I'm not gonna lie. I knew." She said, "I knew."
99.9% of us knew.
Keep it real. I like that. Weeda says, "My loving is as addictive as cocaine. They all want to come back."
Jeez.
twice on the comment like that.
Gray says, I agree with Mr. Freeman. The truth is, y'all choose us. All right. Golden says CJ funny. Okay. All right. So now one thing I want to mention before we give final thoughts, we'll go around the room because we only got a minute or so left, is that there is a chemical component to this. There is a component that our bodies really do have, right? That change. And in fact, they change when you orgasm. It's the truth. You release mood boosting, bond building chemicals in your body, such as somebody help me with that, oxytocin, and vasopressin, in addition to a handful of other endorphins. So again, there is a chemical reaction that causes your actions to be different. So you weren't just tripping on your own. You tripped.
Thank you, Jesus.
Because that's the way you were created, that when you orgasm, you do feel bonded to that guy because you were intended to try to be with the dude you gave it up to. That's how you was built. It don't work that way. We ignore it. We do whatever. He bust your heart wide open, right?
Yes.
He bust your heart wide open. But what you was feeling was a chemical release. So you released, and then it released.
Yep.
All right.
Stuff out of there.
It's a biological reaction.
Yeah.
Your sex was made to procreate. And that procreation is having children with, having sex, having children with this person, and kind of continuing on the natural order of things. The changes in a man happen because that's what he was built for. He was built to procreate. So after that procreation, his mood, everything about him is going to change for a short period of time. It'll change, and then biologically it kicks back in, and he's ready to go procreate again
with somebody else.
Well, it's not necessarily. It's just what we've evolved into.
Right.
And we haven't evolved away from that yet. Mentally we have, but physically we haven't.
Yeah,
I think it's just we're kind of at a crossroads in the spirit of evolution.
Right. And we've all seen or heard it, right? That sometimes these chemical releases are because again, everybody's body is different, right? Yeah. So sometimes these chemical releases are so powerful in some, seen folks just break down in tears and shit after the thing. What the hell you crying for? Shit like that. Get my shit back on and get the hell out of here. I mean, it's like, so again, I you may want to look it up, Google, what your bodies do. You can do that. We got that at our fingertips, so you can know how to handle some shit. Because
make you weak.
Things change. Men have it too. And again, they say if you're trying to bond, we talked about cuddling before, but if you're trying to bond with an individual, if you both went into it knowing, hey, this is a move we're making together, we're doing it intentionally, et cetera, I suggest right after you go get the towel.
Not in this show.
The hot towel.
The hot towel. You probably want to bond a little bit. You probably want to cuddle a little bit. If you're trying to make it last, and you made a healthy decision, 2 grown adults, et cetera, cuddling, regardless of how hot it is, Keisha, regardless of how rough her hair is.
Ted.
Regardless of if she weeping.
Yeah, right. You may want to cuddle if you're trying to keep them. All right. So now what we're going to do, we're going to start with our final thoughts, and we'll start with the baby queen and work our way up if she can gather her shit by then.
Mika, be quiet.
All right. Our final thoughts on after sex aftermath. Lily. Oh my God. My life story.
I'm just going to say.
Have y'all ever been in that classroom where a kid get put out because they just can't stop laughing?
It's Mika. Tell me to stop. Okay, I'm just going to say that if you are not ready for the aftermath, you should wait.
There you go.
Period. If you're not ready to deal with the aftermath of what all comes with it, wait. Don't give him no draws. I don't care if you're trying to see what he working with. You better stop. Pump the brakes. That's it. That's all.
Yeah. And please make sure the draw is clean too. Go ahead, make a final thought.
I'm with Alicia. Aftermath can be good or aftermath can be bad.
You don't know what you're gonna get.
You don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know what's gonna happen. If it's two healthy, mature adults that's willing to take the chance, that's on you. We can't tell you how long to wait. We can't tell you when, where, and why, but we can tell you there's an aftermath to all of it. And those are my final thoughts.
Mr. Jones, your final thoughts, sir.
I'm with the ladies. I mean, whatever happens afterwards, own it, and hopefully there's been mature adult conversations prior to that prepare you to own whatever's happening. You know what I'm saying? And talk about all situations. Talk about it if it's the bomb, or talk about if it's not. And be open for any type of criticism if that's the way y'all want to go. If someone wasn't as pleased as the other one, I mean, just because it doesn't happen the way you want the first time, don't mean that is the worst thing. I mean, just talk about it maturely, so you can prepare. Practice. Practice favors the prepared mind. You know what I'm saying? Chance favors the prepared mind. So if you're preparing for the situation, then it happens. Then afterwards, you're able to handle it a little better. But whatever you do, own it.
Yeah, and there's, for men, there's some pressure there too. Whether you believe it or not, there's pressure to perform, right? And so sometimes you can get into a dude.
Not as much as men.
Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. And you can get into a dude head.
We try to beat the 9.5, Brian.
Okay.
You might be the 9.5.
I might.
You might be the 10.
I might.
Unless you don't like Thundercats, and then you go down to an 8.
So Keisha talked about these two pump chumps, et cetera, et cetera. It could be a situation where, guess what? Maybe the dude ain't had none in a long time.
Got excited.
I know it's funny, but there are sensitivities and things of that nature that may be contributing to it. So it might not be the way he gonna be. It might have just been the way he was. You might have let go of a good one because he couldn't hold his water, so to speak. All right, Brian, that was the end of your final thoughts, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm good.
All right, Freelosophy.
All right, I'm going to disagree with the panel a little bit, and that is talking about what happens afterwards. I believe that if you set the expectations, then you'll know exactly what's going to happen afterwards. But you have to take the time to set those expectations, have those conversations beforehand, and you might not be able to do it after the club. Y'all coming home after the club, you might not be able to do that then. But I think that's about being responsible for you before you even get put in a situation like that. Having those conversations, setting those expectations, so afterwards you know exactly this nigga ain't gonna call me. I know this nigga ain't gonna call me. He told on the way home. He told me he had 3 baby mamas. I know this.
Right.
So setting those expectations, knowing what you're getting into, and once it happens, understand, okay, well, this is my place in his life, or this is my place in her life.
Yeah. Right on. Well, my final thoughts are this. We've all seen these videos of the lion or the cheetah laying in an open pasture, an open field, or the Serengeti, and a gazelle walks right by them. And they just lay there. And you're like, wait a minute, that's your normal prey. Why you ain't getting up and chasing them? He just ate. See, a hungry animal behaves differently than after he or she gorges on his most recent kill. So they will lay amongst the prey and not even pursue it because I done had it. So yeah, an animal is typically gonna act differently after he full than he do when he hungry.
Oh, all right, Jesus.
That's just what it is. We want to thank Brian and Gary for being on the show.
Thanks so much.
Added a lot of insight. We will definitely have y'all on again.
I'm really enjoying it.
And join us next week. Actually, next week we won't have a show. We'll be off next week. And our next episode will be September the 20th, Life After Miscarriage, where we'll have our special guest host, Chastity Franklin, Lakia Patterson, and Andre Jones. All of them have experience in this particular area and have some interesting insight. And I'm sure you may have heard women talk from time to time about this topic. We're going to dig into it in a way that maybe we haven't before. And I think it'll be very fascinating to get a dude's perspective on that. Because I think we forget to ask that question sometimes.
Yeah.
So that should be very interesting. Again, hopefully if you're on Roku, you checked us out there. If you haven't downloaded BS3 TV on Roku, please download it today. Just do a search for BS3 TV and download and catch us there. You can also catch previous episodes. There is some on-demand content there. There are music videos. There's some documentaries there, and we're coming up with some more documentaries and things of that nature that we'll be putting there. Again, if you're on YouTube, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We would appreciate your support. Again, to our viewers, we appreciate y'all. Shante K says love. We appreciate y'all. And we will see y'all on the next episode of Queen3 King.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Are we smiling or what are we doing?
The Queen Bee has arrived.
You know. What's show out then? So I'm gonna start with both of y'all's hands right here.
Look for my thumb.
Look for your thumb.
Like if you can see my thumb on this mic.